It's being reported as one of the largest drug hauls ever in India's history, 5,500 kilograms of meth. We are here at Srivijayapuram and we have with us the CINCAN, or the Commander-in-Chief of the Andaman and Nicobar Command, Air Marshal Balakrishnan Saju. Air Marshal, thanks again so much for your time. Just wanted to ask you about more details, if you could give us about this operation.
Yeah, so indeed it's a red letter day for ANC, and rightly said that this is one of the largest that we know. Yesterday's figure quoted was 5,500 and today's morning exact figure is around 6,100 kgs to be precise. All suspected to be the synthetic drug of meth capsule. So to give you some brief into how this particular operation undertook was that in our area of operations, we are little short of resources and therefore we have to act on targeted information or on erstwhile pattern. So our surveillance is divided into three segments. So we have an inner tier, which is basically with the radars, which are the coastal surveillance radars and fast patrol vehicles that we have. Then we deploy the ships in the middle tier and we use the aircraft in the outer tier. And we generally look at about 100 nautical miles and beyond with the aircraft. So as part of the pattern, the Coast Guard Dornier, which is operating in this particular area, picked up a particular boat which appeared to be moving in an area where it is not supposed to be. Secondly, the pattern of movement was also a little irregular. So it gave us the first inkling of something is not okay. Immediately, the Joint Operations Center launched Arunachal from here, a fast patrol vehicle of vessel of ICG, which reached around night on 24th. They tried to reach the sea state at this particular time was quite rough. Waves were very high. They attempted to interrogate. On the radio communication, the input given was that that's a fishing vessel from Myanmar. They had reported some engine trouble. They also said they're carrying some tea bags. So in the initial boarding, with the Gemini, it emerged that they did not have any fishing equipment, nor did they have any catch. So this was the first indication to us that there's something is amiss. Next day morning, the boarding was undertaken after sunrise, that around 6 o'clock, and that is when we found these packages in all the ship holds. So one of the packages opened and we found that they are basically having transparent crystal material which looks exactly like any of the counterfeit drugs. So it was decided in consultation with the command that to tow the boat back to Srivijayapuram and do the further interrogation. So it entered around yesterday at about 4:30 in the morning, and then we found that this is what is the situation at this stage. So this is a operation which started on 23rd, 24th the first boarding took place, and by 25th we had apprehended it and brought it back to this.
So then what we understand from the press conference again that was held, I think the DGP mentioned an estimated figure of 36,000 crore, because they're still trying to ascertain, I presume,
Yes,
the international market value. 6 Burmese or Myanmarese nationals picked up, investigations going on, etc. But do you visualize this as being a route for the international drug market, or was it targeted either towards the Andamans or towards the mainland?
I would like to speculate on
Correct.
the price,
That's true.
because these are figures which are often quoted. What is the exact value we do not know. That is for NCB and others to ascertain. Going by the quantity of drugs, I do not think that it is targeted at this particular island. It could be for an international market, and it is just that this particular boat developed mechanical problem. In our past experience, any such transit, you find that they do not enter into our IMBL. They don't violate the IMBL. They stay outside our waters so that they are not apprehended by ours. because they are very clear on the policy that we follow. That is one. Secondly, they also would like to stay in waters where they will get assistance. So it could be a combination of this mechanical failure which has forced them to enter into our waters. But once they were in our waters, we were very clear we are not. We will interrogate and take action as required.
And if you could give us a little bit more on the history of these kind of operations in terms of, that's one part of.
So we haven't really undertaken an anti-drug operation so far. Our predominantly operations are targeted against poaching and also illegal immigration of Rohingyas from this. So as we speak, we are doing and we are tracking at least 2 boats which are carrying Rohingyas from Cox's Bazar. Both of them have stayed outside our IMPL. One of them had entered but immediately exited because of the weather state. So our national policy is to ensure that they have provided a safe passage, and we continue to do that. Poachers, we take strict action. As and when they are picked up, immediately we react to this. When we react to in the fastest means possible. So whether it is an amphibious QRT or an airborne QRT, we act and we reach that particular island and carry out an intense operation. In case of poaching or anti-poaching operations, we work very closely with the police, because if the poachers have landed on board or they are very close, then police is invaluable support they have to provide to us in terms of where villagers or local populace is involved, because we find that often there is a lot of, there is not lot, I wouldn't say lot, but there is support from thing because of the money involved, I would say. There's a huge money as far as poaching is concerned. So this is where the police comes in terms of providing a support in that.
Marshal, you were talking about resources, and there are various angles to security in which you're involved in defense, like you said, poaching, gun running, illegal fishing, now even drugs, etc. In terms of resources in this vast area, how is it allotted, or what are the challenges that you're facing?
So our resources come from the 3 services. So this has been one of the challenges which Chief of Defence Staff has also identified for himself. So we are also looking at 2 ways. One is that there are additional resources which have been committed by the 3 services, and sequentially they are getting inducted. We have almost a 4-year plan immediately which has been implemented, and they will come in as planned. And that is something on which we have a complete clarity on. Over and above that, he has also tasked us to identify what are the other deltas which exist. So we are working on inducting some resources under some delegated powers. So we will find that will also sort of enhance our capability in a big way.
But an operation like this, Marshal, it perfectly exemplifies the Andaman and Nicobar Command's motto, you would say, right?
Yeah. So it is BharatShakti, which is our motto, which means that together we are stronger, has been typically exemplified in this particular operation. The initial pickup by a Coast Guard Dornier, subsequent surveillance tasking to a naval Dornier, joint operations center manned by all elements, tasked that particular ship to transit to that area of operation and continuously kept under surveillance and brought back. You cannot have a better example of a jointmanship than this.
And Marshal Saju, again, thank you so much for your time, sir. Very, busy juncture, and thanks for all the information on this particular operation. We'll of course keep meeting you as we continue our journey.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. So that was CINCAN, or the Commander-in-Chief of the Andaman and Nicobar Command, Air Marshal Saju, speaking to us. Do send us feedback on this interview. You can follow all our social media handles and get all the latest on our website or our YouTube channel. This is Amitabh Revi reporting with Vashisht Mattoo from Srivijayapuram in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands for StratNews Global and BharatShakti.